This is Ms. Henderson, and this is Peer Reviewing 101. In this screencast, you will learn how to give quality feedback. Why is peer review important in chemistry? Well, peer review is an important part of science because it tells us that someone who knows what they're doing double-checked the scientist's work. In science, it usually works like this. A scientist, or more often a group of scientists, study something and then they write an article about it. The article gets sent to other scientists who work in the same field to read. Those scientists give feedback, which is most often used by the scientist who wrote the article to revise and/or add more information. When the article meets editorial and peer standards, it is published in a journal. To learn more about the peer review process, you can click this link to go to a page from berkeley.edu about how science works. What is the purpose of peer review in chemistry? Lab reports are peer-reviewed by two other peers, so the writer has an opportunity to get his or her work checked. What is a peer? A peer is someone, in this case, who is also taking chemistry. Why should a person who peer reviews your report be taking chemistry? This person will know the peer review format, understand the content of your lab report, and be able to give relevant, specific, and detailed feedback to help you write the best lab report possible. When performing a peer assessment, it is important to give feedback that is relevant, has examples, and is detailed. Think about when I grade your work. Would the only thing I write be "good job"? How would you feel if I only wrote that? Does it tell you how well you did or give you ideas for how to improve or expand upon your work? No, a comment like that needs to be expanded on to provide examples and give specific details so you know how you can do better next time. Please follow this student guide to peer assessment, and when writing feedback, make it red. This is an example of a good peer review. The reviewer went over each component and made comments on specific criteria that the writer could include or improve upon in order to make their lab report more complete. You can see here that the reviewer made a relevant comment by saying "good data," and then they gave an opportunity for the student to improve by saying that they could make it into a data table, and they even gave an example of what that data table could look like. This is an example of very good peer reviewing following the red format. These comments by peer reviewers are a great start. They meet the R portion of the red format. They are relevant. And the second comment attempts to give an example, but the example is not detailed. To make this review more helpful to the writer, the reviewer could write the specific sections of the checklist and state which criteria to go over, and even give an example of how to meet that specific criteria so that the person who is writing this can see how they can improve their lab report, because really the whole idea of getting peer review is to learn how you can improve and how you can make your report better. Peer review in review. The purpose of peer review is to be helpful to the writer and give them a chance to get their work double checked. The procedure of peer review is that when giving feedback, be sure to make it red.